a very controversial topic, but it's very needed to talk about when we're talking about Yves Saint Laurent. So for people that don't know, there's a film called Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez is, I mean, some people like it, some people hate it. For whatever reason, that's not really the point that I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about today is the fact that Emilia Perez is a big film, a lot of Oscar nominations. It was almost seen as a lock for winning an Oscar, right? However, all of that has been thrown into the toilet, and it would be Anthony Vaccarello's first Oscars, I think. So it's a big shame that the controversy around the film might lead to, one, them not winning an Oscar, two, Anthony Vaccarello probably not having a great experience when he goes, all because of this whole controversy around Sofía Gascón. So for people that don't know, one of the co-stars of the film has been, I don't know if it's a self-sabotaging tour, I don't really know what that is, but has been saying really problematic things. People found some tweets that she has said in the past with more hateful things, racism, Islamophobia, all sorts of things, right? And even homophobia too. And it's really tainted the reputation of the film. And it's really like, I feel so sorry for everyone involved. The Yves Saint Laurent team, Anthony Vaccarello, her co-stars, the cinematographers, everyone. Do you know how much work it takes to build a massive production like that? And you're finally feeling like, you know, your work is going to be recognized on the high stage just for one of the people to just mess that up for everyone. I really, really feel sorry for everyone that was involved, because I feel like Sofía Gascón has literally messed it up for everyone. And it's so kind of unfair that everyone's hard work is kind of tainted because of the actions of one person. So super unfair, super unfair. But anyway, what we're going to do, there's a YouTube channel that I watch, that I enjoy watching, that basically covered it. And I've already watched the video, but we're just going to watch that video once again, just so that you guys can be up to date on exactly what has been going on. So definitely check out his channel. His name is Jonathan Fuji. He mainly does like movie reviews and stuff like that. So I love watching his channel. But yeah, this is the video right here. 1 second, let me just turn on the audio.
First, some viral tweets of Zoe Saldana, basically in blackface in the movie Nina, has resurfaced, compared the criticism and hate that the movie is receiving to the same oppression that the Jews experienced in Germany. Chat, am I reading this right? And in fact, it posted an article critiquing the movie's trans representation. A French film called Johann Sacre Bleu. And maybe in a few weeks, this video will already be outdated.
Yes.
No, fucking no, God, stop. Hi everyone, so last week I made a video talking about all the Oscar controversies, from basically each Best Picture nominee, from the Brutalist AI to the Honora Intimacy Coordinator, and obviously a large part of that video was on Emilia Perez. And of course, since it's me, as soon as I uploaded that video, it was already outdated within a few hours. Because my God, the past few days have been an absolute shitstorm. This is truly historic what we're seeing about Emilia Perez. I truly did not think I was going to make a follow-up video until I saw everything that has been going on and continues to go on. Quite frankly, I'm afraid to record and edit this because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, but considering it is surrounding the
Lanfari says y'all need to stop digging up old tweets. So most times when you see these celebrity controversies, it is a bit, what's the right word to use? Like, people bring up tweets from when, like 14 years ago. And I do think that it's relevant to bring up the conversation in terms of, okay, saying things like this, these aren't okay. However, and obviously if someone has tweeted something 12 years ago, we can't really say for certain that they still think the same way. However, the reason why Sofía Gascón's situation is a bit crazy is because these tweets were not that long ago. So it's not like what normally happens where people dig up really, really old tweets from a long time ago. These tweets aren't actually that long.
Possible Best Picture winner, at least as of a week ago, I think it's fair to talk about. And I usually don't say this at the beginning of the video, but since I have a feeling this is going to be a long one, feel free to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Feel free. I'm just going to leave that out there. So let's talk about everything that has transpired since my last video, all about Emilia Perez. Let's start with the director, Jacques Audiard. He has already been in some hot water. A video interview has resurfaced where he says, quote, "Spanish is a language of modest countries, of developing countries, of the poor and migrants." Bro, You can't say that. You know, it is an interesting strategy to openly shit on something that your movie is trying to represent. But, you know, we'll see how that goes for you. Even without this interview, people were already upset at him because of his comments about Mexico and his lack of research. So just adding this little comment here, I mean, it's just a nice little poop on a shit plate, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say this a lot. I don't really understand this. I mean, what happened to media PR training? You can give the most softball, nothing PR media trained answer of your life regarding the Spanish language, and instead is just like, yeah, I'm actually gonna talk shit, actually. And again, based off his own words and actions, it seems like there is a blatant lack of respect for the people of Mexico or just Spanish language speakers, which again just has me puzzled, like, why make this movie in the first place? If like this is your apparent feelings, does it come from a place of contempt? Like what's going on deep down inside you, bro? So that was pretty bad. But, you know, I wasn't going to make a whole video just based off one additional thing after that video. And then I got tagged in.
I'm with you people in the chat. Like, some people really need to be media trained. I don't know why, like, people would... And also, they need to do a background check on people before making them, like, a star of a film. Just in case, because otherwise, you're going to end up with this, where you've done all the hard work and you're right there, you're about to win the Oscar, and then it just gets snatched away from you.
In another video interview from Karla Sofía Gascón, where she talks about some of the criticism she has been receiving. And I keep my phone on silent, so I just kind of read the caption, saw she was speaking, and I was like, okay, like she's more than welcome to defend herself. Like, I guess, you know, that's fine. I don't know why I'm tagged in this. And then a small firestorm kind of happened. Karla Sofía Gascón has violated the Academy's Oscar rules by accusing nominee Fernanda Torres' team of spreading hate against her and the cast of Emilia Perez during a Brazilian interview. Any public communication by anyone associated with an eligible film attempting to cast negative on a competing film will not be tolerated, as stated on the Academy's website. I'm going to shorten her response a little bit, but per translation, her response is this. Quote, "This is not a competition. It's simply about some people liking her work more or less, and that's it. If she wins," referring to Fernanda Torres, "great. If I win, great as well. What I really don't like is that there is a social media team working around these people trying to discredit the work of others, like mine or the movies. That leads nowhere. To highlight one person's work, you don't need to bring others down. No one has ever seen me speaking badly about Fernanda Torres or her movie. However, I do see many people in Fernanda Torres' circle speaking badly about me and Emilia Perez. I think that says more about them and their film than about mine." Okay. So I have a bunch of thoughts about this. First of all, I don't really know what she's talking about, because there was a video going around online about Fernanda Torres where she is speaking directly to the camera, praising the nominees, talking proudly about her work and their work, and even asking others not to spread hate. I haven't seen anything from the official I'm Still Here account, if there even is any, or Sony.
So essentially, Karla Sofía Gascón made everything about herself, and she wanted to victimize her. I think what she did, even though there isn't enough evidence to say that, you know, people are hating on her and the film, she wanted to insult someone else. So she kind of made herself the victim first and was like, I've seen these people critique me and say bad things about me in the film, just so that she could use that as a way of kicking back. That's interesting. I've never seen people use that technique before. That's an interesting technique.
Sony Pictures Classic. So then I just assume that she's not talking about official people from Fernanda Torres' team, but mainly talking about the stands online. And as you can imagine, this did cause quite a bit of a stir that day.
Someone said they co-produced the film. Yeah, I know. It's literally on their website, by the way. Like, it's literally, look here, Saint Laurent Productions. Yeah, I know that. It's literally on their website. It's quite clearly there. If I said some, I was just not thinking, but yeah, even when you check their website, it literally says it's a Saint Laurent production.
But quite frankly, I knew after reading that the Academy isn't going to do anything about that. As much as people were making claims about this, if it was your job to play lawyer in defense of Karla Sofía Gascón, you can totally spin this off. You can defer, spin off her words that you weren't talking about anyone official, you were referring to people online, blah, blah, blah. It gets a little muddy, and then it goes nowhere. And then, in fact, Variety posted an article saying that no, she did not violate any Academy rules. But my God, was that a crazy thing to say? At this point, you were already under the microscope because of your previous comments and previous tweet that I talked about in my last video. I guess my main thought is, like, why call out anyone by name? Like, if she just said, there's no need to tear me or my movie down, this isn't a competition, and just kind of kept it there, like, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that at all. But not only did you single out a nominee, you singled out Fernanda Torres, and therefore you called out the Brazilians. Listen here And listen now. I would rather attack the BTS stands. I would rather attack the Bayhive before
I'm not sure I agree with him there. The Bayhive, actually, I don't think the Bayhive is as bad as the K-pop fans. The K-pop fans are the worst. They are the worst. I would not want to get on the bad side of the K-pop stans. No way. Like, they would dox your dress. They would do all sorts. I've seen it happen.
ever go after the Brazilians. Are you crazy? Because the way Brazil has been able to mobilize this whole awards campaign, quite frankly, puts the Avengers to shame. They assembled like nobody's business. And that day, they easily made that tweet the most talked about tweet of that day. So publicly dumping on Spanish speakers and calling out a nominee and basically the whole country of Brazil and having talks about potentially violating Academy rules, that is a tough 1-2 combo right there. And I was thinking during that time, like, man, it must be hilarious thinking what Netflix PR department is thinking right now. I was trying to imagine, like, okay, what would they do here? Are they going to make a statement? Are they just going to keep quiet? Are they going to keep the cast and crew kind of quiet on this movie now? You know, what are they going to do? And the worst of it has yet to come. You think that was bad? The day after this happened, what the fuck? I woke up the next morning, had a good night's sleep, felt pretty good. I reached for my phone, I opened Twitter, and I said, holy shit. I saw this tweet here. Shout out to Sarah, who was the first person to bring it to light as far as I saw. Because these tweets revealed that Karla Sofía Gascón is an insanely hateful person. You know, after Emilia Perez won the Golden Globe for Best Picture, they elected Karla Sofía Gascón to speak. And she ended with, "The light always wins over darkness." Well, let me tell you.
Why do people say that? That's such a generic, like, cop out. The light always wins against darkness. I thought every time I've heard the phrase, "the light always wins against darkness," you know, whoever is saying it is a problematic person. The light shall always win over the darkness. What is this, Star Wars?
After reading those tweets.
Also, she's the darkness. She's talking about the light wins over the darkness. You are literally the darkness.
The darkness is winning. All right, the darkness is like consuming your body, like the Venom symbiote in Spider-Man 3. And it was funny seeing in real time the people who were defending Karla Sofía Gascón on the previous day read through these tweets, and it was like the Ratatouille meme. Like, oh my god. I will show the tweets in a second, but I don't know if I've ever seen a campaign tank like this before. If we see situations about a celebrity making insulting and offensive comments in the past, it's usually like this. Oh, someone found a fairly offensive joke made about 18 years ago. The person will respond, say,
even outside of this controversy, the press run for Emilia Perez has been insane. I'm not sure how many people of you have been following it, but like, you had Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez literally did an interview where she was talking about how she felt like her Spanish wasn't good enough, like her inflections weren't good enough, like her Spanish sounded a bit odd. So she even admitted that I feel like the whole press run for Emilia Perez from top to bottom has been horrible. It could not have been any worse, even if they tried.
Say, that's who I was back then. That doesn't make it right. That is not who I am now or have been for years. And I think most people in society kind of accept that. But the tweets here have been only from a few years ago. And it does back up some of the antic behavior we have already been seeing. I am being so serious when I say I cannot go through every single tweet here. I am legitimately getting lost, like trying to catch up onto every tweet that was coming out. Sorting through these tweets to show you here is kind of like the game show Deal or No Deal, except instead of possibly selecting money, it's the most racist tweet you've ever seen. And I am referring to the translate button a lot here, so, you know, forgive me. So let's go through some of them here. New attack in France. Beheadings in Nice by one of these. Oh my god. Yo, am I actually going to get demonetized for this? I don't actually know. By one of these blank followers of Allah. How many times will we have to expel these madmen from Europe until we realize that their religion is incompatible with Western values? We do not learn. Yeah, that's
First of all, the Islamophobia is wild. And regardless of where you stand, like religious wise or morally, if you want to be an actress and you want to be an actress on the highest stage, regardless of whatever your views are, you have to understand you cannot be sharing opinions like that publicly, even if that's what you think. I still think it's problematic to think, but if that's what you think, I don't understand why you would literally tweet that. That just means you don't care about having a career. That's insane. That's actually insane. Or you don't care about your co-workers, because now, like I've said, this might tarnish everything. Because I've seen a conversation around the reason why Emilia Perez cannot win an Oscar anymore is because of all this controversy. It would set a bad precedent, which is crazy. So your actions has literally meant that now all the co-stars, all the people that worked on the production, you are robbing them of that opportunity of winning because of your stupid actions and the stupid things that you want to say on Twitter. Like you can't want to be a big actress, but at the same time think that you can be sharing political opinions like you're Trump or someone.
That's a pretty bad one. That's insane. Islam is becoming a hotbed of infection for humanity that urgently needs to be cured. Who am I to cast aspersions on someone when I see tweets like this? Who am I to do that? I'm not going to do that. What? How about another one? Sorry, is it just my impression, or are there more and more Muslims in Spain? Every time I go to pick up my daughter from school, there are more women with their hair covered and their skirts down to their heels. Maybe next year, instead of English, we'll have to teach Arabic. And a lamb. You just had to add and a lamb there. Like you added the ellipses. Come on now, you can't do that. Imagine what these Arabs would say if every time they came to Europe we demanded permission from their wives or forced them to wear socks with flip-flops and a mask covering their faces. Or better yet, sentence them to death for greeting other men with kisses on the mouth. Yeah, it feels a little wrong to add some commentary here. I feel like those tweets speak for itself. She also...
What is it? Hollywood wants everyone to think and act the same. That's why they were so shocked Kamala failed and failed miserably. I don't think anyone was shocked that Kamala failed. I think it was very obvious to everyone that she was going to lose, to be honest. I don't think that's true. I don't think anyone was shocked. Unless, like, you're not intelligent. No offense. But, like, it's very obvious that she was going to lose.
Also made several tweets regarding the whole George Floyd incident. There was a whole thread about them, some of which I don't even know if I should like post here or whatever, but I'll read one of them here. Open thread, let me get this straight. A guy tries to pass off a counterfeit bill after consuming methamphetamine. An idiot policeman arrives and goes too far in arresting him, killing him, ruining the lives of his family and his colleagues, and turning the guy with the bill into a martyr hero. I really think that few people ever cared about George Floyd, a drug addict swindler, but his death has served to once again demonstrate that there are people who still consider black people to be monkeys without rights and consider policemen to be assassins. They're all wrong. All right, so you're just really getting the thoughts out here, I guess. Let's just keep going. Let's talk about COVID. Yes, let's just hit all the hot talking points here, I guess. The Chinese vaccine, apart from the mandatory chip, comes with 2 spring rolls, a cat that moves its hand, 2 plastic flowers, a pop-up lantern, 3 telephone lines, and €1 for your first controlled purchase. Added some emojis there. She is like one step away from just saying like ching chong ping pong, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Exactly. If there's a recurring pattern of problematic takes across different issues, that's just an awful person, period. Like everything that you could possibly have a bad take on, she's had a bad take on. Like every topic, every realm, every race. She really was like, I'm going to single-handedly destroy this press. Because I'm surprised that even if she said it, when you know that, you're in line for a big film like this, delete those tweets. Like, I don't agree with the points that she's making, but whether I agree or not, the sensible thing to do if you know you said problematic things in the past is delete them, especially when you become famous, because people just find them. Like, I don't understand that.
I can make that joke. All right? I can make that joke. How about random celebrities just catching strays? Referring to Adele, COVID passed and she went overboard with the sleeves, or she went under the knife and they didn't remove the skin from her arms. Yikes.
Damn. Wait, what did she say? COVID passed and she went overboard with the sleeves, or she went under the knife and they didn't remove the skin from her arms. That is just a mean person. There's no other way you can put that. Nobody asked her about to comment on Adele's body. She decided of her own volition to just say something mean about Adele unprovoked. That is just a horrible person. That is literally just a horrible person. Straight up.
Yikes. How about BTS? Yes, I just talked about them. Quote, I'm so fed up that every time I search for important news on Twitter, I come across 200 posts about those fucking Chinese BTS members, or 200 of them touching themselves. Yes, I just said I would rather go after like BTS fans and Brazilians. She's like, I'm gonna go after both. How about the Oscars themselves? Something that you and your movie is nominated for in record-breaking numbers. What do you have to say about the Oscars? More and more, the Oscars films look like an independent and protest film awards ceremony. I didn't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, a Black Lives Matter demonstration, or the 8M. Apart from that, an ugly, ugly gala. They forgot to give an award to my cousin's short film, Who Is Lame?
Wait, let me understand this. 1 second, let me just understand what's going on here. You're an actress and you called the Oscars an ugly, ugly gala, and you call your cousin lame. Outside of calling your cousin lame, like, you're an actress and you're calling the Oscars, like, if this isn't self-sabotage, I don't know what is. If we're not going to describe this as self-sabotage, then what are we going to describe as self-sabotage, to be honest? What the hell? What? What is the craziest thing I've ever seen? That is literally like being like, I don't know, a football player and saying crazy things about the owners of football teams, or like, it's so crazy. That is literally self-sabotage.
Okay, random shot there. How about another one? It's been a while since I've known if Oscars awards are given to groups or to cinematography, if color, sex, and ideology are rewarded, or technicians and artists without borders. It seems that an ethnic quota must be met, something that is already evident in the work themselves. Afro-Korean Festival, first of all, fire. And she is referring to the COVID Oscars where Nomadland won Best Picture. And I was trying to think, like, why is she referring it to Afro-Korean? And I was like, is she referring to, like, Minari? And like Chloe Zhao and like Ye Jung-yoon won Best Supporting Actress, and like Daniel Kaluuya won Best Supporting Actor. Like, did she see that and was just like seething, like had to mouth for it? And there were so many more tweets, people. There were so many more tweets. Considering these tweets,
how can a human being have that much hate in their heart? I've never really understood someone with that much hate. Lanfari says you're putting too much trust into the translations. No, there's like a few accounts from Brazil that translated it, that speak Spanish and Portuguese. So they were the ones that did most of the translations, not like English speakers putting it in Google Translate. That's where most people got the translations from. And that's why she was being cooked by the Brazilians. Like, they were the ones that actually brought up most of these tweets.
Are not that old. Probably one of the most batshit insane thread from a celebrity that like I've seen. I truly don't know how these tweets were left up for so long, but she issued an apology. She says, quote, I want to acknowledge the
Wait, let's see this apology. This is about to be awful. I want to acknowledge the conversation around my past social media posts that have caused hurt. As someone in the marginalized community, oh no. I hate it when people do that. Hateful all around, and then they try to use being part of a marginalized community as a shield. I must be a good person because I'm part of a marginalized community. So there's no way I could be bigoted. I'm part of a marginalized community. I hate people that do that. Continuing on, I know this suffering all too well. Yeah, I know this suffering all too well, using identity politics to shield themselves from responsibility. That is insane work. I know this suffering all too well, and I'm deeply sorry to those I have caused pain. All my life, I have fought for a better world. You cannot say that all your life you fought for a better world when you literally abuse people unprovoked. Like, that comment about Adele was so unprovoked. No one who is, fighting for a better world is just gonna start saying things like that about people randomly unprovoked. Oh no, I believe light will always triumph over darkness. Madam, you are the darkness. The reason why the light isn't triumphing is because your darkness is overshadowing the light.
Conversation around my past social media posts that have caused hurt. As someone in a marginalized community, I know the suffering all too well, and I am deeply sorry to those I have caused pain. All my life, I have fought for a better world. I believe light will always triumph over darkness. Oh my God. Sofía Gascón, I'm just going to give you this advice here. All right, stop using the light over darkness speech, okay? In this scenario, you are the darkness. You fought for a better world. It seems like you're trying to fight the world with like how many like attacks you're throwing at these people. That paragraph is not an apology sufficient enough to cover the whole base of tweets that we just went through, and the ones that I didn't even have time to go through. And the level of like deflection just doesn't quite sit right with me, because the more tweets that were resurfaced, the more insane it got. And then the next morning, just waking up, I saw an arguably worse tweet. This is the same old story. Black slaves and women in the kitchen. But it is my opinion and it must be respected. I do not understand so much world war against Hitler. He simply had his opinion of the Jews. Well, that's how the world goes.
What? That's crazy.
Praying hands emoji. Yeah. I'm just gonna let that linger in the air here a little bit. I don't even know what to say about that. I thought that was a fake tweet. And in fact,
Luke is saying it's sarcasm, but you have to have the mental capacity to know which jokes you can be sarcastic about and which ones are too far. Whether she's being sarcastic or not, which I'm more led to believe she's not because of the things that she's said. I don't give people that have a track record of being terrible people that much leeway, but let's just go with the fact that she was being sarcastic. If you're an actress and you're in a mainstream movie and you're trying to be like a mainstream actress, you know, making sarcastic jokes like that, you just have to have the mental capacity to know that that's not the realm of sarcasm that you should be dealing with. There are other things you can be sarcastic about that isn't around that.
I actually removed it from talking about this video until a later interview from The Hollywood Reporter confirms that.
Yeah, obviously, Luke, I agree with you when you're saying that she set herself up, but that's why I said you have to have the mental capacity, if you're a mainstream actress, to know that you can't be making sarcastic jokes about certain topics. If you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. Like, as a fully grown adult with a fully developed brain, I don't get that. Like, I can be sarcastic about a fashion brand or a fashion designer, but I'm not going to be sarcastic about, you know, a certain situation that happened that led to the death of loads of people. Like, that's not something I'm going to be sarcastic about or make jokes about. However, whatever angle I'm coming from it. If you're a fully grown adult and you don't understand that, then you can't be saved at that point.
It was a real tweet. So what the fuck? So then she deactivated her Twitter account and then she made another statement. It's a bit of a long statement, so I'll kind of condense it here. But she says, quote, "I'm sorry, but I can no longer allow this campaign of hate and misinformation to affect me and my family. So at their request, I'm closing my account on X." Misinformation.
I hate it when people some people just, I think they're allergic to taking accountability. How can your tweet be misinformation?
I'm closing my account on misinformation. I mean, there were screenshots from your own tweets. So like, is it in the...
So Luke is saying you can tell she was a nobody before this film because a celebrity would have deleted those ages ago. So yes, however, if you're, first of all, most of the stuff she said is unacceptable, but even outside of that, whether you're someone or nobody or famous on A-list or B-list or C-list, whatever, you have to know that if that's where you're going, that's what you're aspiring to. There are certain things you can't do and certain things you can't say and topics that you just shouldn't even be playing with. And the fact she didn't understand that is shocking me. It's quite shocking to me, to be honest.
In the room with us right now? Is it behind me? Oh shit. No, it's not. She continues on, quote, "I have defended each and every one of the minorities in this world and supported any event against racism, freedom of religion, or homophobia in the same way that I have criticized the hypocrisy that underlies them, because the first thing I am self-critical of is myself." I don't really know, what is happening? My brain...
Wait, let me go back to that statement. How can you say you're self-critical from yourself and you didn't have the knowledge to know that you should have deleted those tweets at the very least? I have defended each and every one of the minorities in this world and supported any event against racism. Oh my God. Freedom of religion or homophobia. Oh my gosh. In the same way that I have criticized the hypocrisy that underlies them. Because the first thing I am self-critical of is myself. It's normally the people that are least self-critical about themselves that have to go around telling people, I'm so self-critical. How can you say the kind of person that needs to go around telling people, I'm self-critical, right? Right? That's normally those are signs of someone that isn't self-critical.
Is myself. I don't really know, what is happening? My brain, gears are sparking. I am trying so hard to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying. But when I read things like that and I see the tweets from not too long ago, I'm like, where's the disconnect happening? It's like the Tim Robinson sketch where he's trying to find out who crashed the hot dog car and he's dressed in the hot dog costume. The call is coming from inside the house. This is starting to get insane. You are not like the victim here for these tweets. These have been an awful two statements from her after those tweets have surfaced. And I do want to say this in a serious note. I have no doubt that she has experienced much hate and attacks.
Yeah, Danielle, I'm confused too. Where is the defense of these marginalized groups that she speaks of? I have no idea. I don't know what she's talking about, to be honest.
For the simple reason that she is a trans woman. And that is something that I obviously am not participating in and I think is gross. And I will repeat, I have no doubt that she has experienced that this award season, and that is disgusting. In this instance that I am talking about, people are not going after you for any reason other than you made completely Islamophobic, racist, and hateful tweets not that long ago. That is what's going on here. And the fallout from this has just continued. Recently, Zoe Saldana was at an FYC screening for Emilia Perez where she addressed Karla's comments. It's the first time that a prominent person from that movie has actually spoken out publicly about this. And again, it is a long statement, so I'll just kind of get to the main bullet points. She says, quote, "It makes me really sad because I don't support it and I don't have any tolerance for any negative rhetoric towards people of any group. I can only attest to the experience that I had with each and every individual that is a part of this film and my experience in my interaction."
Wait, what did Luke say? She also lied about Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez contacting her and assuring her that they knew she wasn't a racist. They didn't do that and actually came out against her. Damn. It just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? And apparently she lied about like people saying that the tweets and stuff were faked. That I did see. But this, I didn't actually know that she lied about them contacting her and ensuring her that they knew she wasn't a racist. Lying about something like that is a bit crazy because obviously if they didn't do that, they're just going to come out publicly and say, no, we never said that. And then it's just going to make you look worse. Why would you lie about that? Especially considering the situation.
Interactions with them was about inclusivity and collaboration and racial, cultural, and gender equity. And it just saddens. She continues, "It saddens me that we are having to face a setback right now, but I'm happy that you're all here and you're also showing out for Emilia because the message that this film has is so powerful and the change that it can bring forward to communities that are marginalized day in and day out is important." Okay, I mean, like, that's not a bad statement, I guess. I understand she's in a very weird spot.
So this is why, once again, because people are like, why are you talking about this? Going back to Saint Laurent working on the film, right? Think of how bad all of this press is for Saint Laurent when Saint Laurent is basically tied and connected to this film. Like, it's just so unfair. They just were out here making amazing clothes, doing amazing costume design. The team was working really hard, you know, trying to make art through the screen. And then everything is tainted by, you know, the likes of the director, the likes of Karla Sofía Gascón. It's just a shame. It's really, really a shame.
Weird spot where she's still kind of obligated to promote the film. She is in winning contention for her own category at the Oscars while also having to kind of walk on eggshells about this. So it's a tough spot. Not a bad statement. The Muslim Public Affairs Council condemned her tweets and they made a statement, said, quote, "Deleted or not, these tweets are hurtful, offensive, and shocking, most especially coming from someone who is a member of another vulnerable community." Well, another day, another statement. She says, quote, "They have already won. They have achieved their objective to stain my existence with lies or things taken out of context. Anyone who knows me knows that I am not a racist. You will be surprised when you find out that one of the most important people in my current life and that I love the most is Muslim, nor any of the things for which I have judged and condemned."
Also, the director, yeah, we covered that earlier. The director of the film said Spanish is the language of poor people in developing countries. The entire film is dogged by controversy. Can you imagine being the director of a film in Spanish and saying that same language is the language of poor people? Like, sometimes I wonder, but a lot of famous people didn't grow up rich or like really upper class, because I feel like the kind of people that think like this or say things without thinking that I've met are normally people that are sheltered, like they don't have a lot of life experience, so that tends to be a lot of like upper class, really rich people that grow up rich because they don't really interact with day-to-day people or normal people, so it stifles their social awareness. So they don't understand how things that they say sometimes, especially to like everyday people, not their rich friends, they don't understand how it comes across to the average person. And it's shocking because not every actress comes from that background. So why do they all, like a lot of people in the film industry, like have takes like this? Like they say things that are just so crazy.
condemned without trial and without option to explain true intention. I have always fought for a more just society and for a world of freedom, peace, and love. I will never support wars, religious extremism, or the oppression of races and peoples. Oh man, okay. Wow, where do I start? That statement in parentheses is hilarious. I didn't think I would see stuff like that from like actual celebrities, but it is truly giving like, oh, I'm not racist, like I have a black friend. I never thought I would actually see that reasoning used.
Do you know what's funny? There's still grown adults that think that that's a valid, like, I can't be homophobic because I have gay friends. I can't be racist because I have that one black friend. There's still people that actually genuinely think that that's like a valid thing.
In such a high profile situation like this, but here we are, 2025. Hello. Do you know how many times I've had to rewrite this goddamn video? Do you know? I have stopped writing this thinking this story was done, only to go back and keep rewriting this shit. I haven't seen my wife in weeks. Another day, another interview. What the fuck? She appeared on camera for the first time since this whole thing happened. And somehow the statements just keep getting worse. What is happening? The Hollywood Reporter has learned that Gascón set up the interview on her own without the involvement of anyone working on the film, which was distributed by Netflix. What? How does she set this up by herself? Netflix.
I'm surprised she was allowed. Immediately all this controversy came out, they should have gotten her to sign a contract that means that she can no longer speak, like just control the narrative from then on, because now it's affecting, like I said, the work of so many people. It's the actions of the few affecting the many. It's the actions of the director and a few cast members that's tainting the work of so many people. So they should have, immediately that stuff happened, they would have been like, okay, sign this. You are now embargoed from speaking to anyone about anything about the film until this press run is over. Like, just keep quiet. That's what they should have done.
What are you doing? Isn't like there a crisis PR department? Someone step in. She was asked about potentially renouncing her Oscar nomination for Best Actress, to which she said, I cannot renounce a nomination because what I have done is a job and what is being valued is my acting work. And I cannot renounce a nomination either because I have not committed any crime nor have I harmed anyone. I am not a racist, nor am I anything that all these people have taken it upon themselves to try to make others believe that I am. How about another section of the interview? What have I done in my life? What have I done? I haven't killed a single fly. When I have a spider in my house, I put a little glass on it so as not to kill it.
Wait, is that supposed to be an argument as to why she's a good person? What have I done? I haven't killed a single fly. When I have a spider in my house, I put a little glass on it so as not to kill it and take it out on the street. Is that now, guys, we need to start using that. Is that now, that's the height of knowing that someone is a good person if they don't kill insects, if instead they put it in a glass jar and let them out into the wild? Is that now the moniker and the bar for which we, determine if someone is a good person or not? Interesting. I've never heard of that one before.
And take it out to the street. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. This is not real. We live in a simulation. Absolutely. Oh my God. Oh man, thank God, Like, I thought she was someone who would kill a spider in her house, but thank God I don't have to worry about that. She did imply that the Selena Gomez tweet was fake. She said, quote, of course, that's not mine. I have never said anything about my partner. I would never refer to her that way. And okay, great. That's why I didn't talk about it earlier. I believe that. Like, if you're the interviewer. Okay, Karla. So we have the George Floyd tweets, the Chinese vaccine, the Hitler, the BTS stans. We have the Selena Gomez one. No, actually, the Selena Gomez one was fake, okay? I did not say that. I would never say that. Okay, Selena Gomez, fake. Cross that out. And the others. And she also had this statement, quote, I feel and very much identify with the people who were thrown off buses for the color of their skin, with the people who did not want them to study at university, for the people who were hated simply for existing, like how I am hated in this moment. I'm going to repeat.
I hate it when people do that. I absolutely hate when problematic people try to always insert black people. If there's one thing I hate, is when people try to insult black people. No, leave us out of it. Face your own problem. Like, be problematic in a corner. Don't bring us into it. You do not relate with the experience of being black. Stop it. Stop. I hate so many people try to do that. I cannot stand. That's one thing I cannot stand. I cannot stand that.
That first part again. I feel and very much identify with the people who were thrown off buses for the color of their skin. Stop. And the question now turns to the Academy and Netflix, I guess. What are they going to do? As of this recording, Netflix and the Academy have not made any official statement. Hi, it's me from the future. So Netflix actually just released an FYC ad, and I would like you to take a look and just see what you notice. Yeah, she's nowhere to be found here.
Oh, damn, they removed her picture. Fair enough. Very warranted.
Which is pretty crazy. I guess this is their statement. Okay, you unfollowed her on Instagram. All right, that's cool. What about the Fab Five introduction, where previous Best Actress winners go up and introduce each nominee? Are we still doing that? I mean, who is gonna talk about her in that performance now? And Karla Sofía Gascón. What a performance.
Gyros, but yeah, this is someone that's clearly mentally ill. These publications giving this airtime just feeds her need for attention. No, I don't agree. I think giving her this much airtime is probably going to X her career. This is probably the last mainstream film she ever does. I think the film industry is a bit different to fashion. If she was a fashion designer, she would probably be able to weather the storm with these issues, because in fashion, I just don't think anyone gets cancelled. Fashion has some of the most problematic people I've ever seen, and none of them have been cancelled properly. So it's a different thing. But I think in the film industry, I've seen people get cancelled. Like, people just get removed from the industry and no one wants to work with them. So I think optics matter more in the film industry, and what this airtime is doing is giving her really bad optics, like extremely bad optics. Because now, if she's in any other mainstream film, if she's like a co-star or even a lead, there's going to be so much backlash that people will band together and like make sure no one watches the film and stuff like that. And it's too much risk. Like, no company is just going to take a chance on that. Like, people aren't going to be taking those kind of risks, especially because now, if you read a lot of the reports on Hollywood, like, Hollywood is having a lot of financial issues. So a lot of the films, they're taking less risk. That's why some films have been really uninteresting, because they keep rehashing certain franchises that they know works and they know that the films sell. So if anything, I think it's good that she's getting this amount of attention, so we can know what this problematic person is, like how problematic this person is.
What an actor you are. But more than that, here we go. You're an even more amazing person. But I fucking dare you to give this movie Best Picture. I dare you. The Hollywood Reporter posted an article that says, quote, based on my conversations in recent days with Academy members, many are going to have a hard time voting.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Based on my conversations in recent days with the Academy members, many are going to have a hard time voting for Emilia Perez in any category, given that Emilia Perez herself has become toxic. So that's sad. That's so sad. That is so sad.
I'm voting for Emilia Perez in any category, given that Emilia Perez herself has become toxic. And the reason this feels so much bigger than any other Oscar controversy...
Yeah, people are saying they think Brutalist is going to win Best Picture. I mean, Brutalist is good. Long ass movie though, but Brutalist is really good.
Obviously this year and in recent history is because how self-inflicted this is. Do not compare this to Green Book. This is nothing compared to that. This is not some online thing anymore. This is not about smear campaigns. This has reached a level of mainstream. It would be catastrophic to give this movie Best Picture, or really any major award, but I'm talking about Best Picture in this scenario. I mean, what a past few days. What a past few days. Again, I have never seen a campaign tank as fast and as hard as this movie has by its own self. Right, I interviewed Sarah Hagee. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced her name. She was asked why she wanted the tweets to gain traction, and she says, quote, when someone in a historic position representing a film built on so-called progressive values has a history of racist and bigoted tweets, it exposes the hypocrisy of it all. This isn't about meaningful representation, it's just marketing. And that marketing falls apart when the person at the center of it is a racist bigot. Damn. And if I could leave you all with one more tweet from Karla Sofía Gascón before this whole firestorm happened. Quote, I love art. That's why I applaud the creativity of all the groups of haters who try to invent a new controversy or a new way to insult me every day. That's good because it awakens neurons. And with that, maybe one day they'll be able to understand that hatred won't get them anywhere. Sincerely, Public Enemy #1. I really mean this when I say, I hope I don't have to make another video on this. I know some people are weirdly very defensive about this. Some people say people are just throwing dirt on her. People, all I can say is no one is throwing dirt on her in this situation. She dug the grave herself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.
Facts. So, bringing it back to Yves Saint Laurent, because we're still talking about YSL. Can you imagine how Anthony Vaccarello feels about this whole situation? Can you imagine? Because Anthony Vaccarello is like, oh, I'm just going to go to my first Oscars. We're probably going to win a few. Everything's going to go well. We're going to get really good press. People are going to be talking about a lot of the looks that we created for the film. And then he woke up one day and just saw all of this controversy. And he's probably just like, I just wanted to make great clothes for a great film. I just wanted to just great clothes for a great film, have some nice success, have some good looks and moments in front of the screen, and now it's all just been tainted. It's all been tainted. But yeah, I think let this serve as a lesson though to a lot of companies moving forward that you need to do a background check on people that you work with before it's too late. You don't want your star to be the most, literally the most volatile person in the world that could just decimate the whole project, because so much money is behind these projects. And so you need to do your research around these people. And I'm surprised they don't, because isn't it normal standard, like normal jobs, like when you try to get a job, when you apply for a job, they do a background check on you. And normally, because I know some people that work in recruitment, they have, I've forgotten what the name of the software is. It's not some advanced software, but it's something that's industry standard where they put your links and stuff into it, and it will scan all your tweets and all the stuff that you've posted online and search for keywords to see if you said anything problematic. I'm surprised that in the movie industry, they don't do that. I'm really surprised that they don't do that in the film industry. Like, just no background checks. They're just like, oh, we liked your performance in so-so film. We want you to be in this film. Or like, people are obviously doing like auditions and stuff. And before people come to the audition, you're not doing a background check. Or at least when you select someone from an audition, you're not doing a background check. That's a bit crazy. Because if they did a background check for her, whatever keyword they put in, it would have flagged it. Any keyword, anyone, it would have flagged it. It's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. I just don't get it. And it's just a shame. That's all I have to say. It's a big shame. Big shame. Big shame. So yeah, that's the situation with how YSL is doing in the film industry. And thanks to one of the stars of their movie. I've seen some of you in the chat saying that it's weird that Emilia Perez is being up for all these awards and winning all these awards because it's a mid-film. I haven't watched the film, so I can't really say whether it's mid or not, but from the reviews I've watched, because obviously I'm really into film, so I've watched a lot of reviews on films, even if I haven't had the time to watch it. People are saying that the singing was bad. Of course, I saw a lot of Spanish reviewers complaining about Selena Gomez, that her Spanish was not really believable because she's supposed to be a character, I think, in Mexico. And her Spanish doesn't sound anything like how a Mexican sounds. So it was almost like annoying to listen to. So there were like all these issues. And it's weird, like having stars that have the wrong accent and stuff like that. Those shouldn't be the films that win awards. That's what acting is. Like, good acting is the ability to turn into a character in a complete sense. So if as an actress, you are supposed to depict a woman from Mexico and you don't sound Mexican, that is bad acting. That is literally the definition of bad acting. So, if your Spanish is bad, that's just bad acting. So if there's bad acting across a film like that, I don't see how they could win so many awards. That's a bit strange. So that's what I've seen. That's what I've observed. I haven't watched the film, so I do have to add that there, because maybe after I watch the film, I might have a different perspective, to be honest. But yeah, that's the whole situation via YSL in the film industry.